go live on TikTok. All right, we are live on, well, we're live on TikTok. YouTube's taking a little bit longer. So, hey, everybody, I'm Dr. Mo. I have Neil and Amanda with me in the background today. Let's make sure I don't have sound. All right, good, perfect. And Neil and Amanda may or may not be on the picture on TikTok, but they will be in the comments, hanging out, answering questions, doing the things. It's probably the best way to do it. That way we don't have to worry about Neil and Amanda will both put their names on TikTok in the comments. See, Luby, there you are. I don't know how to add a team name to call your members. Team AMS Dr. Mo. Okay, well, I don't know what that was that I just did, Amanda. But anyhow, I'm going to click off your name because then TikTok ends up doing weird things that I don't know what I'm doing. So Luby is Amanda.
But if you look for me, it has to be AMS Luby, right? Didn't we figure that out?
No, it just says Luby. No, because it gives your name. Neil Hyzak, FNP, just joined on TikTok. So please follow him. Don't say hi. I mean, feel free to say hi. But follow him because that way we can get him on the TikTok audio.
Hang on. I got rogue chickens. I'm going to go fix the rogue chicken situation.
Neil, how many do you have now?
Like 440 or something like that.
All right. All right.
We're getting there.
Yeah, you guys love this
one. And we've got 2 watching. It's probably us on YouTube, and I don't know how to get to the chat. I'm over it. Give me a second. Let's see if we can get to the...
I'm trying to figure out the same thing, working on one screen instead of 2.
Okay. If you copy and paste it into a new window, it'll give you the chat.
There we go. No, it finally showed up.
Pleasant, good day, right back at you. Yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day. I'm eating lunch. So
I brought Cloud to say hi on YouTube.
Oh, let's see. Just joined. Miss what you said. Actually, we haven't said much because, well, chicken.
She says she feeds me worms now, so I love her.
I'm not eating worms. I'm eating a Starbucks egg bite. So we didn't say much yet. So, here we go. I got your invite, Neil, to go live. I mean, about the live. Yeah, no, we're just crapping around here. So
awesome. There it is.
Oh, hold on. Okay, who do we mute, Neil?
We'll have to teach me later.
I'm muted on everything except my computer.
Okay. Well, I think this is the way we do this.
So
I'm Dr.
Miss what you said. She hasn't said anything about the live yet. We're just getting started.
we are not there yet. So what we do on Tuesdays is we talk about lifestyle medicine, GLP-1s. This is not medical advice. This is not relationship advice. This is not legal advice and not financial advice. You got professionals for that. Don't get your medical advice from TikTok, please. Talk to your provider. And if you don't have a provider, come see us at amstelehealth.com. If you're in our states. And right now, Nikki Baldwin, who is in the other states, has actually taken a bit of a break from taking video only states. So she needs a break. She doesn't have enough staff then to kind of handle that volume. So the asynchronous is fine, but the synchronous telehealth is a bit more, it's labor intensive, bottom line. Because doing this, we can talk to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 of you right here. Not medical advice, of course, but we can, give you the general information. Me telling you to eat 100 grams of protein a day isn't exactly medical advice, right? Because you get personal trainers out there telling you the same thing. Hopefully.
I haven't looked at the American Dietetic Association, what they recommend anymore, but it used to be something stupid like 45 for women and 60 for men. Okay.
You're like, for my left leg.
Oh man, when I was in my dietetics program, I got so much shit for drinking protein shakes. Like literally, she saw a shake one day and she asked me about it, and like literally 30 minutes of class berating me about the dangers of too much protein and should follow a pyramid and on and on and on and on. And meanwhile, she's not in shape and doesn't work out. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and I don't want what you have, so I'm not going to do those things.
Yeah,
right.
You're doing it wrong. You're not following your own advice, and if you are, it's not working.
Exactly. So, hello.
Yeah.
First of all, I love your name, Kalal. It makes me smile. I have mild gastroparesis from my diabetes. Is it possible to use GLP-1 medications? That's a hell of a question. Neil and I have batted this back and forth for quite a while. And Neil and Amanda are my nurse practitioners. They are on. And like, tap the video. All the likes, right? We need external validation. So we talked about this a lot, that the incidence of gastroparesis with diabetes is obviously, it's part of the disease, right? It's part of the disease process. So if you get your diabetes under control, we were wondering, does it actually decrease the incidence of gastroparesis? Because remember, gastroparesis is both. Oh, thank you, Letty. Gastroparesis is both the slowing of the gut and pain, right? It's not just the slowing of the gut. The slowing of the gut happens with GLP-1. So yes, absolutely that happens. But when you're talking about the pain part of it, you know, the gastroparesis flare, because, you know, we've all seen those, right? Those of us, because we work in the circles, you know. I don't have data on this, but if you were our patient, I don't know. Neil, what do you think? What would you do?
I would, if it was me personally with mild gastroparesis, I would give it a go.
Yep.
If I was obese, need to lose weight, because theoretically it may improve these symptoms.
Mhm.
I would take the risk. Worst case, I get a flare up of my gastroparesis and I end up in the ER. I might end up in the ER anyway with a gastroparesis flare. So
Yeah, agreed. Yep, that's my thought too.
got a question.
It started with a super low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even if you do compounded, do half a dose, you know, or something like that, and start real slow.
Eunice over on YouTube, she met an RN today that has been on Ozempic for diabetes for a year and dropped A1C from 9 to 5.6. That's awesome. But zero weight loss. Surprised when she told me that. Slow responder or overeating drug and needs to move to Mounjaro. What do you think?
That's a damn good question. So her diabetes is under control, and the numbers don't always reflect this, right? When I was 50 pounds heavier, my numbers looked okay, right? My cholesterol was high, and it's still slightly high. It depends what her dose is, I think, too, right? Because if her A1C is controlled, remember, that might be those charts with the diabetic control, but not the weight loss, you're not bumping up into those weight loss doses of Wegovy, which are 1.7 and 2.4.
Yeah, I'd wonder where her blood sugar normally is. Like, is it still running a little higher and she's at like one or 1 point, like one even? Like, does she need to go up? You know, and theoretically, if she's on Ozempic, she needs to go to 2.4 for the weight loss, one of the weight loss, you know, doses anyway.
Right.
But yeah, if she's not moving at all, you know, do we think she's one of those like slow responders where she needs a ton of metabolic repair before she actually starts losing weight?
Quite possibly. And you can shock your system into that by not overeating, or I don't think we should call it overeating the drug, because I love that term, although I think it puts people off. And I use it all the time, Eunice, you know that. It's eating. So eating to maintain, right? Because that's really what we're doing. If you're not losing weight, number one, you're not gaining, because think about it this way, her A1C got better and she's also not gaining weight and making her condition worse. So we're still sitting here, but she's eating to maintain. So she's eating at maintenance at a weight she doesn't feel like maintaining, right? Her weight, her body's not comfortable with, her mind's not comfortable with, her, you know, not living in her own skin. So I would look at the dose first.
Yeah.
And
look at the dose, look at what she's actually eating. Like, is she eating a lot of carbohydrates and stuff still and low on the protein? You know, is there a reason? There's probably things we can probably do to adjust it. And then yes, if she still doesn't lose weight, I'd consider the other drug. I mean, in the studies, it's a better drug for weight loss. Let's see.
I was gonna say scroll those, because when I touch my screen, I screw up. So scroll those on TikTok for me.
What Leslie's asking, what are your thoughts on lipo B shots for helping with low energy? I think it's worth giving them a shot. You know, some people give them an absolutely, yeah, I know, pun intended, love them. Like, they have so much energy, they can't live without them type of thing. Other people get them like, am I supposed to feel something? So I think it's worth trying them to see if it helps you. Like if you have low energy, it can't hurt. And if it doesn't work, you just don't do it again.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah, like, wow, that was a waste of money. We haven't
Yeah.
done that 1,500 times losing weight.
You could even try just using over the counter like B12, 1,000 micrograms a day and see if that helps improve it. They all absorb about the same, whether it's sublingual, oral, subcutaneous, IM, to get your levels up.
And Amazon gummies now, like they nailed the consistency. Because you know how like when you order some gummies and you're like, wow, this is a tire, this is a bike tire. And my husband actually ordered Amazon multivitamins or something like Amazon Basics, and they nailed the consistency. I'm like, thank you. So now, which is good, right? Because I ordered B12 gummies, but I ordered Amazon Basics because it's cheap. And it's like a brand that the consistency is going to be good. So anyway, that worked for me. Ooh, okay. What's going on with the Manjaro shortage? Same shit, different day, man.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna wait till we had some more people hopping on to kind of talk about this one because it'll get people going. So lately, over the last like week on Reddit, there are, well, as of the 15th, is today the 15th, CVS Caremark will no longer be shipping GLP-1 medications.
Whoa.
One of the patients had told me this. I kind of looked into it. There was some stuff maybe. I actually had a call CVS Caremark earlier this week, and she's like, "Yeah, we just got an email on this today." So I talked to her, the lady, for a few minutes, and she's like, "Yeah, as of this date, we're not shipping." There was like 5 medications. She's like, "In Sacenna, which we haven't seen in forever, so we haven't been shipping that forever. There's just none of it." She's like, "We don't know when it's going to start." So yeah, everything's going to be local because they cannot meet demand.
Wow.
That's number one. The other one
But hey,
was,
but it's helping break the system, right?
it is. Then none of this 90-day stuff. Because that's the other issue. Like you can't get 90 days, so you're just shipping them nothing because you only have 2 boxes.
Yeah, maybe it'll help break the system.
The
I
other thing that I was seeing a lot of, I know, thumbs up.
I didn't mean to do that. I did this and it took it as a damn thumbs up.
Some
Sure.
pharmacies, they were reporting as CVS are no longer taking new prescriptions for these medications. Meaning that like if I've been on 15 forever and my doctor orders 15, if I'm not already in like their server, like waiting, like on a wait list, they're automatically rejecting it. Nope.
But the only ones available are the 2.5.
Correct, but they're rejecting everything that's not new. They're going to fill the people who have already had their orders submitted and been sitting there for a month, 2 months before they'll even take another one. Because I think they're tired of getting the phone calls. What do you have today? What do you have today? Nothing. We're not taking any new orders, and it's an easy or it's on their prompt when you call. Like if this is about Monjuro or Zepbound, we're not taking new orders. Period. Stop calling.
Wow.
I'm assuming that's what it is. It's not all of them, but there's multiple reports of people like, yeah, my pharmacist said the same thing when I called, that no new orders, period. If your doctor sends it, we'll reject it immediately.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
The world's changing.
that's
Let's
something.
All right. Okay, lots of questions. Thank you for all the likes, guys. Appreciate it.
Do you see April? I have stage 4 endo started semaglutide with you guys. I have noticed a difference in inflammation. Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
I'm glad you're seeing it with the semaglutide because we see way more reports on it with like the tirzepatide product. But that's awesome that you're having it with semaglutide as well.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Hold on. There was a stomach paralysis one above and something else.
What causes stomach paralysis from GLP-1? Megan asked that.
It's not really paralyzed, right? So they call it
Yeah.
gastroparesis. So it sounds like gastroparesis, right? It sounds like stomach paralysis because that's what the Latin root of the word is.
Yeah.
But it slows down your gastric emptying time. And I'll give you the science version, right? Slows down when things move through. This is anecdotal, not scientifically researched. And it might be just not by me. But I feel that I absorb food differently, which we know we do, right? It absorbs medications differently, like oral contraceptives. Back it up, man. Don't have a Manjaro baby. Or have a Manjaro baby if you want to, but go off in time, right? Long before. So don't be surprised. It's a big deal. That was actually part of the news. I just did an interview for the news and they were talking about Manjaro babies. So, but anyhow, I think that my body absorbs food and is able to use my food differently than before. Anecdotal. So it's slow. It by design, this drug will slow down your gastric motility. There's the word. It slows everything down by design, but it keeps you fuller. That's why you get the sulfur burps. That's the biggest irritation of my week, is looking on the Facebook groups. How many people can ask about sulfur burps and not get something from their damn provider to tell them how to eat? Sorry. Done. Thanks. I'll be
I
quiet
hate
now.
that word. I hate that sulfur burp word.
I have a local friend who went back to her primary, and she said, they don't tell me anything about how to take this medication. I was like, yeah, I know. That's why we do this. I'm like, they're just going to write their prescription and say, hey, you let me know.
Right. Let me know what you find out on TikTok.
Yeah.
Great.
It is what it is.
Dawn was saying she was on our live last week and nervous and couldn't wait to come back and tell you how it's going.
Yes. Okay. How's it going?
I'm trying to sort through these here. Make sure to miss anything.
Where'd it go?
Hold on. Let's see if I can scroll.
Yeah, Hope, it is a little ridiculous that they can't, that you need the med and you can't get it. But unfortunately, that's everybody right now. You can't get them. There is none. So they're just kind of like stopping the queue. So I guess I'm assuming so they don't have a backlog of 6 months worth of meds. In some of the pharmacies, though, let's say I sent a 10, a 12, and a 15, but I sent the 10 first, but they have 15. They will not cancel the other two and give you the 15. They will only if I call them, but they don't tell you that. So I have to literally cancel the other two prescriptions, say, please, do the 15. Otherwise, it just sits there in queue. No one knows nothing. Found that out this week, too.
Unbelievable. So Leslie said, thank you for Link Pharmacy partnership. And I love the word partnership. That's a very good word. Thank you for that. Yes. Good prices. Yesterday's order arrived today at 10 a.m.
Ooh,
So,
but Dawn did her comment.
oh, okay. Hold on. Yeah. Let me finish. I just want to finish this thought, and I don't want to see. Yeah. Don't ruin the surprise. But yes, and that's because, so for those of you who can't get medication, we work with compounding pharmacies that we trust, which sometimes our judgment's not the best. Never with the product, right? Never with the product, just with the sketchy financial practices in the back. So, but never with the product, because we make sure we get reports on the efficacy, make sure they're sterile. We talked to them before about all this crap. So anyhow, we know you can't get your medication. We also have no problem prescribing off-label. We would prescribe Zepbound off-label for diabetes if you can't get Mounjaro. Okay, we don't have any problem with that. So for all the people who said, oh, I'm diabetic, I need the meds more than a fat person. Well, I'm happy to prescribe the fat person medicine to the diabetic. Don't care. You need the medicine. You need the medicine. We don't judge around here. So anyhow, all right, let's go. I want to know.
You want me to read it?
Yes.
Oh, it scrolled. She said, food noise is gone. Inflammation is already down. First week down 7 pounds. I'm so glad I'm doing this.
It's awesome.
I don't get the fireworks. What the heck?
Dawn got fireworks on YouTube.
Right. Yes. If you go to YouTube, watch drmo.com. You'll get fireworks from Amanda. We do not service Pennsylvania yet, Mara. It is in process. It is, which means who the frig knows when, because getting licenses is no joke.
Especially if it's New York.
Yeah, if it's New York, we have no idea when.
If you're listening to New York, come on.
right.
Come on,
Anyone in the government.
My elementary school.
Yeah. Molly said she didn't have weight loss until 7.5 on Mounjaro. Same with Amanda.
Same.
Yeah, Amanda and Courtney were the same.
I mean, it was like a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was blessed to be an early responder. Thank God, because like I would quit if it didn't work, right? Probably. Don't quit before the miracle happens. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I think that was a response to Kirsten, 4th week at 2.5 tirzepatide, and she can tell no difference. Help. Yeah, you're not at your dose. We got to get you up. Like they're saying 7.5, maybe it's 5, maybe it's 10. If you're on
3 damn months.
Yeah, if you're with us and you're uncompounded, like we can go up faster than the 1 month that a pop thing. No sense.
That 1 month is if you have insurance, we have to wait if it covers to orbit. You can't get it anyway. So
yeah, right now it's compounded unless you're lucky.
Right. I mean, there is some of it floating around there, but Like Fort Worth, what did you say, Neil, last week? Fort Worth,
They have
can
like
get-
everything. No problems.
I'm gonna be in Dallas in 3 weeks. Should I just like,
Tell me I'll send it up there. Here, this Steffi's asking, should I still bloat from ovulation on this medication?
Yes.
Mhm. You still might, like, you might even have a week where you're still craving stuff, even on the medication, when last week you couldn't eat a thing, and then this week you still want to eat. It's just the hormonal stuff. I mean, the medicine helps, but sometimes, you know, it'll give you some problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Ovulation sucks. Oh, well, it doesn't suck if you're using it, but you know.
Does if you're
What'd you say?
it does if you're not using it.
Right. Right. I don't need to do that part anymore. Thank you very much. I tried to get rid of the right one because that's the problematic side, but he wouldn't do it. I'm like, could you find something wrong with my right ovary when you're in there? Can't you just say it looked like shit or erythematous or something and take it out? I only need one.
This one, user 104. I'm new to semaglutide and I didn't lose any weight. Should I be concerned on my second dose? Nope. Just like we were talking about with the tirzepatide, some people just don't. Those are technically loading doses. The 0.25, the 0.5, they're loaded doses. The technical weight loss doses are 1.7 and 2.4. Some people get lucky and the low doses work extremely well for them. I mean, I spent 14 weeks on the 2 lowest doses and lost all my weight. You know, I lucked out.
Yep. Yeah, I think I lost all my weight in like 5 months or something on 2.5 and then 5 of Manjaro. You know, back in the coupon days. God love them. In the good old days of the coupon. Yeah, Dawn, I'm happy to be an early responder. I needed it. I know it's water weight, but I'll take it. Right? Anything. Like anything that freaking works and calms down this shit show that is my brain. Sorry, there's this fly that keeps bugging me because I have my plate. Here, I'm gonna move my plate.
See, but water weight, yes and no. So it's water weight because you're not eating as much, so you're not pulling that extra water into the muscle. So you know, you're losing a little bit of water there, but that's because you're not eating, and which means it's going to be effective and you're going to start to lose fat. You know,
Okay. Yep.
it means
point.
it's going to go in the right direction.
Yes, good, very good point. And I'm getting the weird comments, like the random comments that I'm just grabbing. So Neil grabbed the other ones and Amanda grabbed the other ones. I'm so full, it's hard to finish my food, but if I don't finish, I don't hit my protein or macros. That is why I have to go liquid for a lot of my protein. It's not an advertisement for Premier. I saw a post on Facebook the other day. Did you see all the stuff that's in? Look at all those ingredients that's in there. And I was like, yeah, and I eat stupid shit all the time. It might as well be stupid shit with protein.
Coming from someone who's eating McDonald's where there's 87 ingredients to a French fry,
Right?
you know, or that's smoking. But
Or
okay.
drinking every
Or-
weekend, right? Or every day.
Putting poison in their body. Yeah, I mean,
Carrageen is not going to kill me.
yeah, risk benefit. Like if you can't get it in, you still need your protein, you know, and it's not always that way. Sometimes, like, you know, if you're hungry that week or that day, you could eat more solid food. But to get your protein macros and like, or protein goal in, a lot of times you will have to, unfortunately, drink it.
Yeah, Leslie said, is liquid for protein okay? I heard we're supposed to stick with meat for protein, but it's hard. I can't digest meat very well anymore. And I think that was probably even before Manjaro, but it made it way worse. I eat meat maybe once or twice a week. Like this is it. This is it. Like that's where I get my protein. And I bumped it to 120. So I now get between 100 and 120 a day because God, this 5 pounds has to go. I'm kind of done. I feel like a busted can of biscuits.
Yeah, and some of the things, like, you don't have to necessarily have to eat like a pre-made drink with a whole bunch of chemicals in it that you're afraid of. Like you can get straight protein. There's different places that literally just send you whey protein with no additives, no flavorings, nothing, and you can flavor it with whatever you want, whether it's honey, you know, chocolate powder, maple syrup. It doesn't matter. I think we talked about it like last time. True Protein. Like I think you had like 28 or 30 different proteins, like grass-fed beef, whey, casein, pea protein, egg. You can get whatever you want.
And I think, you know, even if you want to stick, even if you want to avoid liquid protein and stick with real food, to say meat only, ugh. I mean, first of all, I don't eat anything with 4 legs, but that's a personal thing. But, you know, eggs or, you know, cottage cheese, yogurt. I mean, there's so many sources of quality protein, and your body should have that variety. Even, you know, but just to say meat only is the only way you can get quality protein, That's extremely limiting and nauseating.
Soy. I mean, not for you, Amanda. Amanda can't have soy. We know that.
Yeah, no.
No soy for Amanda. That's anaphylaxis. But what's the iron amount in that Premier protein shake? Oh my God, my reading glasses are inside, dude. Probably nothing, I would assume. Because it's isolate, it's whey isolate, so I would think nothing.
So I have a muscle milk and it has like 4.5 milligrams. So that's, 25% in your daily. So
So here's a funny thing on you guys are gonna have to grab these questions, and
Yeah.
oh, here to take the first shot. We will help. Don't go anywhere. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Um,
Does it-
I didn't know all these vitamins were in here. half of the chemicals in the ingredients list, I better like multivitamin chemicals. I could have my dog hold it over here and read it.
Yeah. There's like Science Food Babe. I think that's her name. There's a lot of these people that break down the fact that just because the name is scary doesn't mean
Yeah, all these are
good.
vitamins. Mother of
Yeah.
God. I didn't even look because I don't care. I'm drinking it anyway.
It sounds scary. It sounds chemically, but it's likely just the chemical name of a vitamin. I mean, or a stabilizer that makes it so it's not disgusting.
Yeah.
And that's really, yeah, like the inulin was nice. That's a prebiotic. Didn't know that was in here. Huh. Like magnesium phosphate. Okay. Great. Good job. Like, I don't know. Anyway, okay. I'm done bitching about that.
Yeah, lots of talk about different proteins. Yeah, I mean, true protein, you can just kind of get them in bulk. Someone's saying that where was it? Sprouts has whey isolate in bulk. That's good to know. It's like unflavored stuff like that. So yeah, isolate is probably going to be your like the most tasteless one that there is, and typically it doesn't cause problems with lactose intolerance.
Doug, you're fine. You're fine. It's actually good because that was fantastic. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Casein's gross. I'll be honest with you. It's like a longer acting protein. It does not taste good.
But casein is good. Like in Quest Protein has whey and casein together. You can make
Yes.
some cakes out of that shit. It's good.
Has to be mixed with something and has to be flavored, but plain by itself is going to be gross. It might work well in some other stuff, but not by itself.
Yeah,
As a
like
blend,
I
yes.
used to mix it with a little bit of like pudding, and it made like a super thick cheesecake thing, and I used to sprinkle pecans on the top with some syrup. Anyway. Back in the day when I actually made food. I'm getting better though. I'm getting better. Okay, so we're gonna go in reverse again because comments are flying. Keep them flying. I love it. And give us lots of love. Give us lots of taps because every time I tap my phone, something fucks up. So I'm not doing it. But if you're afraid to do it, worst case, right? Like absolute worst case, you have an allergic reaction to it. You have to go to the ER. Never seen it. Okay. That's worst case. Second worst case, the dose is too high when you start. You're like, oh my God, my stomach hurts. Okay. Probably not pancreatitis. If it lasts for longer than a day or so, you got to go to the ER. These are like really bad things. 9 times out of 10, you know what's going to happen? One of two things. You're either going to take it and be like, okay, I don't feel a thing, like the person earlier said, or holy shit, where you been all my life? That was me. 6 hours later, I was like, it's real quiet up here. I don't know what's going on. I was like, it was bizarre. Because I was like, I mean, I had all this like clarity and brain space. And like it was calm. And I forgot to eat. And I just did my stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Where you been all my life? I'm telling you, it was great.
right.
On 7.5 Manjaro only lost 4 pounds. I see. I'm interrupting the flow.
Nope. Good.
Doug, we're gonna come back to you. Don't go anywhere. Neil, read your
No,
shot.
go ahead. 7.5, only lost 4 pounds.
Yeah.
But it might not be your dose. We might need to still go up. We might need to talk about other things that you're doing. Whether it's movement, is your protein high enough? Are you getting enough hydration, sleep, stress? Like there's other things that it could be. But we have had patients needed to get up to just about max dose before they really started losing weight. They had a lot of metabolic repair that needed to be done, and it was slow. So, but it's going in the right direction. So don't stop.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's don't shortchange the value of what you already have. Well, Meredith is here. Meredith is on YouTube. We got 2 questions on YouTube. Hi, Meredith. I'm sorry. I skipped over lovely one because I'm going to do lovely one first. Is there anything about the tirzepatide itself that makes you lose weight? Can you lose weight like an extra pound a week by going up if you aren't having side effects? That's how my dad manages it. Because he's not a craving person. He's not like, he's just the most non-drama person. He is the most non-drama person. Like, he doesn't have cravings. He doesn't have food noise, blah, blah, blah. He just says, he doesn't have side effects. He pretty much just says, my weight loss slowed. He's a numbers guy. He's a computer guy. He'll be like, my weight loss has slowed. I think I should go back up to 5 or 7.5 or whatever. And like, that's literally what he does. He's like almost at his goal weight, sort of, but he doesn't know what his goal weight is because he knows what he thought it was, which was way too high. It's not really happening. But between the two of us, we've lost over 100 pounds. So I'm good. So that's how he does it. That's how he manipulates it because he doesn't have side effects. He's like, well, let's go up. Or, and we talk about it. We go through that because he's not having side effects. So he's like, I would like to have more weight loss because he loses 0.5 to 1 pound a week usually. And then when that slows down, he'll pop back up and go up in dose.
Here's one we missed. Molly, do you guys have info about loss of drive and low mood? Been on Mounjaro for 2 years and have noticed this.
Yes. Some of it's just life, right? Like, well, 2 things. We find, right? Either your calories aren't at the, now I get the fucking balloons. If you're on TikTok, you can't see this, right? I've been trying for so long to get any signs of life for my balloons and confetti and fireworks on Zoom. And I just gave balloons on YouTube. So if you go to watchdrmo.com, you can see the balloons. Anyway, so now I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, low drive. So either you're not at the sweet spot for energy, right? Because if you really don't feel like eating, you're not gonna eat, and you're just, or not hydrating, and you're not moving, not mentally engaged. Or the flip side, and then I want Neil and Amanda's opinion on this too, because I think the flip side is like today, I'm freaking beat. I did so much shit yesterday, mental stuff. Like I'm tired because I now have all this brain space. So I push myself really hard and I'm tired. So I think it's an ebb and flow. And sometimes you just need a day off, right? So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, all those things. I mean, some of it's the med, some of it's the life.
And you're not getting enjoyment from food anymore. Or not as much.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the big one. You don't have like something you can go to and make you feel better. You don't get that hit.
I moved my incense over. It looks like I'm smoking.
Nice.
Hilarious. Not smoking. Will I be able to watch you guys when the GLP-1 ban starts here on TikTok? Well, they tried to do it before. We couldn't say Wegovy. That would get us kicked off. Couldn't say all kinds of stuff. But yes, you will. We will be on, we actually are evergreen on YouTube for a reason. Because it's not even the GLP-1 ban on TikTok. It's the TikTok ban, right? There's a threat of that all the time. So that's why we put everything on YouTube. We just go straight Zoom to YouTube. So that way we are there. We are not a flash in the pan. Go to amstelehealth.com if you want to find us. Social links are there. You can rewatch all of our old lives if you have nothing better to do in your life. But you can rewatch our old lives if you want more information. AMSpublicgroup.com is a Facebook group, but if that ever gets taken down, we're still on YouTube because I think YouTube is going to be the longest lasting platform, which is why I keep everything there for everybody. Oh, Ginger, I hear you. Ginger, that might get better. Or I'm sorry, Ginger said this to FSM. She said, I got to do this for the YouTube that I forget. So she suffers from extreme anxiety and I do not leave my home. I'm so sorry for that. I hope you're getting help and thank God for virtual stuff, right? Because you get to connect with us here. So.
And FSM's the one who's scared to take her first shot.
Yes. You got friends out there. We're good. We got this, right? And here's the deal. This might be a game changer for you. It might quell that anxiety completely.
And the first shot's always the hardest. People do them and they're like, that was it. Like they'll sit there for within an hour on their stomach and then they finally did it. Like, that's it. So just hit that first one. Get her done.
Yep.
Have someone else get her done for you, you know, and you'll realize it's not that bad.
Sorry, we missed a couple.
Yeah. Grab them.
Thoughts on compound tirzepatide? Right now, love it. It's
Right.
all you can pretty much get. We would not prescribe it if we didn't think it was safe. I know there's lots of stuff out there saying that it's not safe. The compounded stuff's not safe. It's from an old medication that was prescribed or was made up. They weren't doing any safety checks and they injected it to a spot that should have had extensive safety checks and people got really sick from it. These are one subcutaneous injection, so I'm way less scared about that. And number two, they are way stricter than they used to be. They even like, so they make the meds, they hold on to them and they have to keep testing them even after they've already sent them to you to make sure nothing grew. All of us have used the compounded medicine at some point without any worry. So absolutely love the compounded versions.
Yep. One person saying 15 milligrams took that for the pounds to come up still very slow, which definitely can happen, but is not, I call it a bell curve. So there's the folks like Mo who take 2.5 and it's, you know, and then there's most of the people, I think you guys will probably agree that 7.5 to 10 is really where you can probably hang out. And then there are a few people and get results and get good appetite suppression and have low side effects and all that stuff. There are some people though on the other end of the bell curve that need that 12.5 to 15 to really even make it budge. And that's unfortunate, but it does happen. With so thoughts on, so that's that. Let's see.
Yeah, Meredith, I agree that, 2 years into this almost, Meredith said on YouTube, was great. It doesn't feel that way anymore. Oh, hold on. You just popped up. So I've been a branded pen since September 2022. Took my first compound shot today and was shocked how easy and painless it was. Yep. Unless you're, hey, by the way, Link did not burn as bad this week, only at the tail end. But I'm still doing it, right? But I'm going to ask them because Link also said that they would go B12 instead of L-carnitine. So we can put that specifically in the prescription. So I'm going to order that next to try it and see if there's a difference.
I wonder if it's just your body chemistry and how they make theirs. You know, like a little bit more basic so it stings, you know what I mean?
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what it is. I am absolutely certain I am the problem.
Well, and then one person asked, weird question, but have you heard anyone getting chronic bronchitis since on Mounjaro? I would call that causation is not, or correlation is not causation. I think it happened to you while you were on Mounjaro, not because of.
Doug, you solved your own problem, Doug. So for those of you on YouTube, Doug was saying that he hadn't lost much weight. And he said, I still have the mindset of needing to eat 3 meals a day, whether I'm hungry or not. We talked about this on the live last week and Courtney had a fantastic fix. Way easier than my fix. That she said, cut your dinner in half.
Yep.
Start there. And you'll realize, wow, that was too much. Cut that in half if you need to, or cut dinner and lunch in half. We're so used to, especially if you're a 3 squares, right? Because the patient who was talking about it was a 3 squares kind of gal. I'm a grazer, so I can not easily, that was the dumbest word ever. I can never easily decrease my food intake. But I don't care when I eat. I just want to eat when I want to eat for whatever reason. So it's just a little different. So anyway. A New York City girl, ultimately, as long as it's from a legit compound pharmacy, the amount of active ingredient is the same. They'll tell you what the concentration is, like Link Pharmacy. Yeah, Kim, same. So Link Pharmacy, it's 20 milligrams per ml, right? So that's your concentration. Here's your public service announcement. That's your concentration. An ml is 100 units. Unless you're an animal, then it's different. So please don't buy veterinary syringes. It gets super weird and confusing. But, which I wish we would just let go of the units completely. Like, could they just please use mLs? But they won't. So we're going to go with it.
It's really hard for some of the high concentrations to get 0.6 mLs. That's why.
Right, right. And that's like if it's
Yeah.
but that's why they call it units, so it looks like a big thing in the syringe, you know. And we call them insulin syringes, which makes it even more confusing. This is not insulin. GLP-1s are not insulin. They don't work the same and they should not be used with insulin. Number two. But so depending on what the pharmacy tells you, that's how much of the active ingredient, the compound that is the same thing that makes up Mounjaro or Zepbound is tirzepatide. So they take that base compound is not a good word because it says base in it, but you know what I mean. The underlying compound, and they put it with other things. So yeah, so Kim said I'm an ER nurse and a conditioned grazer.
You,
Celia.
Hey, my C girl, if you're in New York, well, we do cover there.
Yeah.
So come and see us.
Couple of quick ones.
AMStelehealth.com.
Stephanie asked, do you have compound med prices on your website? We don't put them on the website because they keep changing. And we can, but if you go to be a patient, there's no charge until we decide a treatment plan. And our sports staff will shoot you all the prices for the states that we can, that I'm not saying it right. They will shoot you the prices for your state for the compound pharmacy who have that shipped there.
Yeah, some states are a little cheaper than others, or as more expensive than the others. But otherwise, you know, to start, depending on the state, it's around 150 just for the medication for semaglutide to start, and it's around 200 for tirzepatide to start, depending on the state.
Joanna's asking one of my favorite questions. Any thoughts on tirzepatide and metformin together? I have PCOS, insulin resistance. Yes, girl. Yes. That's our thoughts. Works great together. And we do it all the time.
Yeah, we a lot of times we'll add that in when people either can't go up because they can't afford to go up because, you know, shit gets expensive, or because they're at the max dose to help people get going again. I think at the end of the day, tirzepatide is going to be the way better drug for PCOS than metformin itself, but together, absolutely.
So Maribel asked if we address Kelly Clarkson, and I'm reading the CNN article, which is retarded, if I must say so myself. So I'll quote her in here, and maybe there's a different Maribel. If there's something different that I need to look up, let me know. Hold on. I'm doing a wonderful shot that works for folks like me who need some help. Super cute lady. No shit, Sherlock. Where the fuck you been? My doctor chased me for 2 years and I was like, no, I'm afraid of it. I already have thyroid problems. Everybody thinks it's Ozempic, but it's not. It's something else. Way to be secretive. It's probably tirzepatide. Thanks so much. Like what's the big deal? Stop being weird.
My big deal is I think she was all fat positive because she gained weight after like American Idol or whatever it was. And she was all fat positive and it's okay and leave her alone. And now the shots are okay.
Yep. Well, and she says, now I listen to my doctor.
Whatever.
I dropped weight because I'm listening to my doctor. A couple years I didn't. No, because you fell prey to the stupid stigma. And I sent this to my husband. I saw a TikTok yesterday from Jenna, who's the weight loss doc on TikTok, who is amazing. I don't remember her last name. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Find her though. She's amazing. It talked about if you had high blood pressure and we said, we're going to give you this treatment that works maybe up to 10% of the time on a good day, but we're going to give it to you anyway. The patients would be like, can I have the one that works like most of the time? Yeah. So anyhow, like nowhere else in medicine would this be okay. But of course, in this space, because everyone's all freaked out about it, which is such bullshit. I'm like, done. And you guys know this. If you've been hanging around with me for the last 2 years, I've been standing on this soapbox for a long ass time. So anyway, but that's the thing. Now that we know better, let's do better, right? I know it's the food supply. I know it's because it's all this hyper palatable food. I get it. My taste buds and my brain are broken. I understand. I can't unbreak something that's broken. This is a chronic disease that I have to manage. Period. End of story. Stop making it all about drama. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
It's me, Catherine's asking, do you stack meds to help with weight loss if someone is struggling? We do. Depending on where we're at, we'll stack.
Never stack semaglutide and tirzepatide.
Those, yes, no, we don't do those, but we will add like a GLP-1 with like metformin, naltrexone, Wellbutrin. Like there are some options that we have to kind of get things going again.
Or even like the B12. Oh, damn. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I got flagged for hate speech.
Would you, because you hate Kelly Clarkson?
Uh-huh. My live does not contain the content mentioned in the notice.
What? Oh,
Why can't you stack those two? Because people die from it. First things first, do no harm.
Well, and the
the-
word stack, I don't like that word. I don't like that word because stack implies the two same medications. I think we
Oh, wow.
combine.
Somebody actually flagged me.
uh-oh. Someone from Eli Lilly or Novo Nordisk?
Well, you know what? I'll continue to say it.
Ooh, what word?
I don't know, but
Oh.
my whole thing about my little rant there.
Well, just
Somebody-
don't say famous people's names.
Oh
We
yeah, it
can
had
talk-
nothing to do with her. Like that's not about it. I just didn't want her to be vague. No vague book, thanks.
I don't know what the
R word? What was the R word? What was the R word?
I don't
Kim,
know.
R. Did I say well, I might have said I might yeah, I do
Oh
use it.
yeah, that's I don't think we use that word anymore.
I might have done that, yeah. I got
Okay.
angry. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
the R word.
Sorry about the R word.
All right, well, moving on. We're not going to say that word or famous people, and we're going to talk about what we're
Walk up
There we go.
or down. That flagged me last
I know.
time.
Yeah, if you don't like someone says scroll, yeah, keep scrolling. But
Yeah.
there was so stack.
Fire
That's what we're
retardant.
talking- Stacking can't be hate speech, I hope.
I don't use that when I talk about actual diagnoses because that's not a diagnosis. I just talk about it, behavior.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like stack implies the same medication, but we combine or use together medicines that potentiate or work well together, like the metformin, which I don't know if I even said this, that I dug deeper on metformin mechanism and action, and it actually does potentiate your natural GLP-1. Did we talk about that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's one of the mechanisms of action for metformin, is it boosts your natural GLP-1. So it makes sense that that's why it works so well with these. But there's nobody has said that makes these drugs. But when I dug deep on metformin mechanisms, it was like GLP-1 agonist, whatever. So I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, so we use medicines that work well together, but stack is a buzzword for using the same ones, I feel like.
Yes, and I do apologize to everyone out there about using the R word. It was not intended to be offensive to anyone, and I will be cognizant about using it in the future. I'm not saying that sarcastically. I will be cognizant because it's probably I should find a better word. Well, what do you think about Contrave? I was on Manjaro. My doctor wants me to go
I would
on.
say a replacement for what you were saying is that it is irrational the way that they are behaving about these medications. It is irrational.
I like irrational. Not based in fact, based in fear.
Correct.
Contrave, it depends on what else you're taking. We do use it in our practice. We do it in a generic way, so it's cheaper for patients because Contrave itself is expensive.
We only have a few people on it. It only works.
I was on Manjaro and my
Yeah.
doctor wants me to go on Contrave. You're not going to get from Contrave what you got from Manjaro.
No, we only had a few people that were like on like Contrave or like a combination type product that have done really well. It's done well when we add it in, like when someone's stuck. But by itself, it's okay for very few people. Either they don't like the side effects or it doesn't do that much for them.
Right.
But occasionally it does. So I mean, if that's all you have right now, I think it's worth a shot until things change.
Better than nothing.
Somebody asked something up there. Is metformin the best? No. Well, the best at what, right? So I guess I don't know anything. The metformin's the best at anything.
As an add-on to GLP-1s, I think it's the best. If you can take it, it's dirt cheap. It works pretty well. You can escalate the dosage of it. When you use extended release, the side effects are somewhat managed, and they're similar to the GLP-1 that you're already taking.
Yes. Oh, yes. To
Yeah.
add on, I think metformin. Yes, I agree with that. I think metformin is the best first step. Like if you're at, so say you're on compounded, here's a good analogy. If you're on, or a good use case scenario. So if you're on 7.5 compounded tirzepatide, you're stalled and you're like, listen, I do not have the money to go up. We make sure you're hitting the pig pillars, right? You're doing the things that we talk about. We have 5 things that we talk about. And then we will add on the metformin because like Neil says, it's like $4 a month. So go with it. For sure. Yes, the ER, we use the extended release metformin in our practice exclusively because now it's super cheap, maybe $10 a month at the worst case. What is the generic form and what would you add to Contrave?
So there is no generic Contrave right now. What we do is we'll prescribe naltrexone and Wellbutrin SR because that's basically what it is, but they're separate. So separate, they're really cheap. The only problem with the naltrexone is that you have to split the tablet into 4. I think it's 8 milligrams per tablet of the regular Contrave, and the lowest we can get with the splitting it is 12.5 milligrams. So it's similar. It's not exactly the same. And then you have to be able to split that pill 4 ways. There are some splitters on Amazon that do it very well. So that's typically what we do.
Okay, Vicky's got a good one. Sorry, Vicky. Any advice for constipation since I've moved up to 10 and started iron?
Oof.
Oh, dear Lord, right? I'm like, oh, you're never going to poop again. Sorry. Don't do rescue remedies with constipation. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm laughing about the, we got to hit the Manjaro going to 5 and thought I was going to die. Neil had front row seats to that with me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was like, I'm calling on my vacation. So the constipation thing first. Miralax, I was on Colace twice a day and I did Miralax daily for probably the first 6 months until I started to be able to eat more fruit and or anything, period. So don't do rescue remedies though for constipation if you can help it. Do Miralax and dial in your dose and do it every day. I don't care if you do a quarter of a capful every day, but you're better off doing it every day. Than you try to rescue, you're going to give birth to a very large turd. Sorry about that. I don't get flagged for that. Sorry. Oh yeah. So this is it. I take Manjaro at 2.5. I tried going to 5 after 2 months and thought I would die. Okay. So let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, I thought it's been 2.5 months. It's probably time for me to go up, right? I'm like, so we're leaving like on a Tuesday to go on vacation. I do my injection on a Monday or do my injection on the day we left for vacation. Like brilliant, brilliant ideas, right? Let's go up and dose the day when we're leaving on vacation. I'm at our condo in Florida, dying. I'm sitting there. I can barely stand up. I am like, I can't do anything. I think I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Here's how it ends on Manjaro 5. It was horrible. I'm like, Neil, please God call. And at the time you could actually get doses and stuff and they would give you a change dose and give you a prescription, like with the coupon in the good old days. Right. I'm like, Neil, please call me back in some 2.5. I can't do this. I have to be ready when I get home. I can't do 5 again. I just can't do it. And so got home, restart on 2.5. I was on 2.5 for almost 4 months. And then I kind of could tell, I think it's time to go up. And then I tried it again and it was totally fine. So. Oh, okay. Somebody want to grab Kimber? Oh, Kimber said she was new and just watching. So thank you for asking a question. We appreciate you being here. This is not medical advice, but of course we overstep all kind of boundaries, but don't take this as medical advice. Come see us as a provider. If you're in one of our states, come see us. But I'm gonna let you guys answer this question while I yell at my dog.
I wasn't sure what that one is. I see beet camarilla. What's the dose for metformin you guys add to Monjuro? So I typically start patients at like 500 milligrams to the extended release once a day. And then if they need more support, we can kind of start to increase the dose. The highest I have is someone that is at 3 tablets a day, so 1500 milligrams. But most people do stop at 2 tablets a day or 1000 milligrams with pretty good success there. Does naltrexone help with appetite and cravings? So the naltrexone helps with that reward response when you do eat, and the cravings. So basically, ideally if we get you up to 2 tablets a day, it's 1 in the afternoon and 1 at night. And then so when you take that, like you take it about an hour before lunch, when you're up to 2 doses, and when you eat lunch, you just don't get that reward. So you're looking forward to that cheeseburger, you get it, you take a bite, you're like, wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be, and you stop eating. That's the idea behind the naltrexone. Let's see.
That's a lot to work. That's the
Yeah.
why
Is
do
it
you break and then go down? Just go down.
on
So
that?
Kimber
Yeah.
first of all said, how can she get on Manjaro? Insurance refused, blah, blah, blah. Insurance always refuses. 99 times out of 100, insurance is not going to cover it. They're expensive drugs and you can't get them. So you can get the low doses if you were just starting. But insurance, if we let insurance run this, nobody that would be helped by these drugs would be on it, which is why oh, Meredith, I talked about you this morning. Which is why we do feel comfortable prescribing compounded medications. So, Meredith on YouTube said, what's up with my 52-year-old self getting my period all the time now?
Saw that, yeah.
Because you thought you were menopausal and you weren't.
Yeah.
And no worries, Meredith. I don't care about hearing any of this stuff. I've been in the ER a long time. There's nothing you're going to say that's going to make me blush.
Show him and he doesn't care. You're like, whatever, carry on.
Well, although 52, if you are having cycles and you officially hit a year without, please go see your doctor right away. That is a do not pass go, do not collect $200. You need a biopsy.
Correct. Yeah. Any postmenopausal bleeding needs a biopsy.
And honestly, any abnormal urine bleeding needs an in-person evaluation.
Yeah.
So
we joke about it. We joke about it because we'll talk about random crap all the time, but that's an in-person. You need your parts looked at for sure, just to make sure. And if they go in and say, wow, you're hormonally whacked out, sorry, great. That's good news. But you got to get it checked out to rule out the things. All right. Somebody grab Flea and help her. I'm assuming it's a her. Yes, I see now.
I don't think we finished with Kimber with the Monjuro. One, without being diabetic, your insurance probably is never going to approve Monjuro. You're going to need to go after Zepbound, and more than likely a prior authorization with probably an appeal. If your BMI is over 27 and you have high blood pressure, atherosclerosis, they should cover it. But if the insurance just doesn't cover anything, they'll never cover it. It doesn't matter if you meet every criteria known to man. So it's a phone call to your insurance to see what they will cover, while they'll cover it, and what you actually have to have for them to cover it.
And also, one thing I don't think we've talked about was up in the, she says eats clean. What could be the problem? How to fix it? If that's been going on for a long time, you really may have to have kind of a Miralax reset, just kind of like with a kid, and get things really moving. But one thing that, if eating clean means lots of fresh fruits and vegetables, this may not be needed. But if eating clean means something different than that, then you may need some natural bacteria. I have found kombucha helps a lot. The real stuff with the stuff floating in it. I have no idea what I'm drinking, but it seems to work great. Yogurt with natural bacteria. Just a way to, because we are a little bit over sterilized, I feel like. I don't think you need to go licking dirt outside, but it certainly can't hurt to get in some good fermented foods. That can help. And the super greens. Did we talk about the super greens?
Nope.
What's the whole name again?
Oh, I don't know. I'm on athletic greens now, but I got to find something different.
But it's
pretty tired of them.
I can't. I'm choking it down every morning. because it's on my list of things to check
Garden
on.
of Life. Garden of Life.
Garden of Life, super green thingamabobber.
I take Bloom. I'm not sure what Bloom is.
Oh yeah, you were trying Bloom. I'm doing AG1, but it tastes terrible. I'm God bless you guys. I'm sorry. I know a lot of elite athletes take it. My dad used to take it. I just can't tolerate the taste. Matthew's like, does that taste any better than it smells? I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Can you make it in a shot?
Hi Carly. Sorry. It's I'm Dr. Mo. I was just off. I was refilling my fly detergent thing.
It might be me. Since I'm
Or
the
Amanda.
disembodied voice.
Yes. So here I cloned myself and I have invisible people. No, just kidding. So Neil and Amanda are my nurse practitioners at amstelehealth.com. They are on the ground taking care of patients. And I'm Dr. Mo, and we talk about GLP-1s, lifestyle medicine, all kinds of stuff. Bloom tastes better. Okay. All right. Clean, simple eats, greens are halfway decent. Okay, this is good. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't cloned myself, thank God, because my husband would be like, what the hell? One of you is bad enough.
Back up top. B Camarillo, metformin was 500 milligrams is typically where I start. Kimber, she was going to start compounded tirzepatide, I'm guessing. Scared they will stop it. It is possible they'll ask you to stop it, but we have started patients on compounded because we can't get their doses of brand name medication. And as soon as the brand name comes available, we start them on the brand name and move over to it. Or like when like Wegovy, you couldn't get any of the doses. We'd start them on low dose Wegovy. When we got to like 1 milligram, when it was available, they would switch over to brand name. No problem.
Yeah, we don't have any problem with that. Like we're not here to make money off of working with compounded pharmacies. That's actually kickback and it's illegal. We're here to get our patients healthier, right? We have actually patients who don't take medication who are with us because you get extra stuff. When you go to AMS Telehealth or Active Medical Solutions, that's us. We do education, we do community. There's a patient group. There's another patient meeting that we have on Wednesday nights. Happy hour. So it's not just about us writing a prescription, right? It's managing your health, managing your prescriptions. You know, we do a lot of stuff. So anyway, we don't care if everyone, oh my God, could you imagine this, right? Let me tell you the ideal scenario. They put a coupon out for $25 or all these medications. How about this? Let's make it even realistic. There was an adequate supply of Mounjaro, Zepbound, Ozempic, and Wegovy, and it costs $100 a month. We would be prescribing that shit left and right. We don't care. Could you imagine? That's a utopia right there.
No, and I'm not sure who asked that, but if you like come to our events here and listen, and like a lot of patients come to us and their doctor's not telling them how to take anything. Here's your medicine, get out. As opposed, like they don't help with the symptoms, the side effects, diet management, like anything. And that's basically what we do. And we're doing it here without charging anybody because we like doing it.
Right? Like, because it's what we
People
do.
need help. Like who wants to sit at home not being able to poop for a week or nauseated because their doctor increased them, each month and they've been sick since 5 milligrams and they're in 12 and a half. Like that sucks.
Right.
Did we see Doug's, my blood sugar runs anywhere from 80 to 110 on 7.5 of Mounjaro. Do you recommend metformin ER? Yeah, no problem. It's not going to, neither one of these medications will push your blood sugar down to a dangerous level. They optimize the way your body controls its own blood sugar, which is why they work for diabetics, but don't make a non-diabetic hypoglycemic.
It also kind of depends on what your goal is.
Yeah.
Like if your appetite's well controlled at 7.5, I wouldn't add anything at this point. But if you're like at 7.5, you can't find 10, can't afford compounded or want to switch, and you need more appetite control, and 7.5, you have a whole fridge full, I would add metformin at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do we take insurance? We do not take insurance. We are cash pay only for our medical services. It's $89 a month. That's for the medical part, the community part, the education part, unlimited text messaging back and forth, all the things, appropriate prescriptions. But we also cover urgent care stuff for our patients that are appropriate for us to cover, right? If it's not appropriate, we'll tell you. Listen, you need to go to the ER for this, like Meredith, oh, you need a biopsy, stuff like that. So we don't take insurance. You can use an HSA or FSA card. And if your insurance covers the medication, that's a different story. We're not a pharmacy. We don't supply medications. So that's a different thing. Nana said, I'm diabetic on Manjaro. Can't find it. Can I switch to Zepbound? Depends on your doctor. Depends on who will prescribe. We have no problem prescribing. I'm not going to go off on this rant again because it got me flagged. But we have no problem prescribing off label for diabetics. Off prescribing Zepbound or Wegovy off label if you're a diabetic and can't get your diabetic counterpart. It's the same medication. We don't judge.
Although they may
Oh,
not
go ahead.
pay for it, you may not be able to find it.
You're
Either.
still gonna can't find it.
Yeah. FSM, we are actually, most of us are located in Texas. Amanda's over there in Virginia, but we are actually all have licenses in Florida. So we actually have lots of patients in Florida. And Dr. Mo, I think, is a part-time Florida resident anyway. So
it's my heart home, right? Yeah, we have a condo there and I spend as much time as I can there and recreate the rest here. Is there one that's easier to find? Compounded medications are the easiest to find.
The answer is it depends on the way.
Or unless you're in Fort Worth.
yeah, Fort Worth, you're gonna go. For now, I'm sure everybody's driving up to Fort Worth. Send it there, doctor.
I guess whichever label planner was working faster that month, since it's just a different label.
Yeah, for real.
Zepbound versus Manjaro.
Oh, I think Jenna got on a little late with us. She's like, make your phone calls to the pharmacy, see what doses of meds they have before calling the provider to check. Absolutely, that will help. Jenna, I was seeing stuff on Reddit this week and last week that some pharmacies are not taking any new prescriptions, period. If I wrote you a prescription for 7.5 today, they would automatically reject it until they finish up all their backlog.
Which is never.
It's going to be.
I wonder if that's an actual like top of the food chain thing though.
I wonder if it could be the CVS itself because
Right.
I'm sure the pharmacist is sick of arguing with people.
Yeah.
And
or
he's behind, like his one text on a phone all day long saying no, yes, no.
Yeah, and it's actually slowing their business because they can't provide for as many people. It's me, Catherine said, my doc isn't helping me, so I'm curious what we would do. I'm looking for telehealth. What we do is this, but on an individual basis. You get unlimited text messaging with the providers. We have support staff on the front lines. We have twice as many support staff as we do providers, which kind of makes sense, right? Like when you walk into a doctor's office, you got somebody helping you at the front desk. You got somebody helping you walk into the room. We've got a provider in the room who takes care of you. We've got group stuff like this. We have a private group community. It's like a private Facebook group, but it's on School, SKOOL. And then we prescribe appropriate medications. We treat urgent care concerns, right? So say you're our patient for weight loss or longevity or whatever, and you're like, oh my God, I think I have a UTI. We'll ask you some questions. We'll go through your history and prescribe you medication for that at no extra charge. So that's because you're our patient and we like to be the provider in your pocket. Not for everything, right? We still expect you to have a primary care doctor. We expect you to have appropriate specialists in person. Like if you're, postmenopausal bleeding needs a poke. We can't poke. So you still keep your primary, but we supplement that and help you out with some other things.
I think she had asked right before that, she's on 12.5 and not losing. Would you recommend going up to 15 or add metformin? It kind of depends on why we think you're not losing. Like, do you have like no appetite all week and you're not losing? Then we kind of look at diet and other like aspects that we could kind of change without using other medications. Or like, if you're like only hungry, if you're like starving after day 3, it's time to go up or add something.
Yep. Yeah, the pharmacy thing's starting to be a big deal in the old fat girls, which I love that, by the way, fat girls off-road. Pharmacies won't take your script if you're a new patient to them unless you move all your meds. Yeah, because they don't want to be a convenient way to get your GLP-1, which I think is dumb. Just get it, but whatever.
Well, I think they're trying to I'm sure they're mom and pop shops, or I'm wondering if they just want to take care of their local patients they've been taking care of for years, like in their little small town, and like they don't want someone from Austin to drive 2 hours to get their medicine when someone local might want it.
True that.
Yeah.
Have we seen where vitamin D deficiency and iron anemia affect weight loss? I have not seen that directly, but they definitely affect health. So it's but I don't know about I don't know about weight loss. I mean, really, I think the GLP-1s and their lack of interactions with other medications tell us that it's not it's not just one pathway. This is a global metabolic mismanagement that we've done to our bodies over the years.
We got a couple of questions on compounded versus name brand and what's our opinion on compound versus name brand, or what is compounded in general. The easier question is compound versus name brand. We've all, I think, Neil, did you ever do brand name? Oh, okay. So the rest of us have gone back and forth. Neil did a little bit of compounded and we all got the same effects from compounded versus with name brand. Compounded means they take the same chemical component and mix it with something else, B12, B6, L-carnitine, or some variation of that to make a new quote unquote medicine. And you can get it.
Yes, and what compounded is they take the same base chemical and combine it with other things that are usually in small doses, small amounts in there to avoid, because in shortage they are allowed to do so. They do it in sterile pharmacies. What am I missing with that, guys? Neil?
I think that's it. They just, mix it with something else and it's sterilized and it just doesn't come from a big manufacturer, which they've had problems with sterility as well, which is why initially there was the Wegovy Ozempic shortage. They had to get rid of a bunch of stuff.
Oh, we haven't picked on Bob yet today. The pharmacists that we use, we've gotten information on their, efficacy of their medications. We've all used them. There are some out there that are less forthcoming with the proof and the processes, and we don't go to Bob's Peptides is our joke.
Yes, so there are places on the internet that will sell you a tirzepatide powder for you to reconstitute, and just don't.
Oh, see, I'm actually disappointed. Where's the retatrutide lady?
Oh man, she's not.
So I was thinking you can still get. I was looking as well. You can find retatrutide. I don't know, at Bob's as well.
Who knows? Who knows what it is? Okay, so two things to address. Hold on, I just missed one. I pinned Jenna's comment because it was good. And it answered the question from above. If you're on 2.5 and stopped or slowed and you want compound, should you go up? If you're going to drug, you can go up because it's time to go up. Then you just go up in your dose. So like if you're going from 2.5 to 5, just as if you're doing brand name and if hypothetically you were our patient, we would just move you up to the next dose when you ordered.
Then
the shoulder blade comment, because that one needs to be addressed sort of emergently. Can semaglutide cause pain in the back on right almost up to shoulder blade? I'm thinking either gallstones. There you go.
The first thing I would do is, but guys, besides give a thumbs up, I would hydrate. Like, is this a muscle spasm? Because you're a little bit dehydrated because you're not eating and drinking well. So if it was me, I would drink a couple Gatorades. And if that didn't make it somewhat better and it wasn't like pain to palpation, like a big knot, yes, I would probably go check out my gallbladder.
Yes. What's our link so you can read up on our services? It's amstelehealth.com. Gallbladder's out. Drinking a gallon a day. So make sure you're
gallon of water.
Yeah, a gallon of water.
No electrolytes in it.
Yeah, a gallon of water with electrolytes. Good job. So make sure you live in Virginia. Awesome. Make sure you got some electrolytes in that water. Free water, which doesn't mean you didn't pay for it. It means there's nothing in it. Free water will not hydrate you inside your muscles the way it needs to be because we're not getting those electrolytes in. Yeah, so it became potassium deficient because of meds. I get this super weird shoulder blade pain, like right between my shoulder blades. Like my rhomboids are on fire if I don't hydrate. It's kind of bizarro. Why do I get cold with Zepbound? First of all, get your thyroid checked. We are all emergency medicine trained, so we think worst case scenario first. When you lose weight, your thyroid can get out of whack. Second of all,
It happens.
it happens. You might be doing less, you're creating less body heat because you're naturally slowing down because that's what happens when you lose weight. Or you're eating less, so you don't have what's called the thermic effect of food, right? You're not increasing your body temperature with food. Electrolytes. I'm 65. Oh, way to rock your bad self. Goals, right? I'm all there. We're getting there.
Well, I think Gabby reposted, so I feel bad that we didn't get it. Been on 7.5 for 6 months and keep going up and down in pounds. Should I move up to 10? I would say yes. Because it sounds like that's what you need.
On face or on YouTube, that I actually had a thumbs up. And Amanda gave you fireworks. So yes, please don't take Mag 07 all that often. I would recommend Miralax daily because the way they work. You don't want what are they called? Why can't I ever remember this term?
Stimulant laxative?
Stimulant. There it is.
So crampy.
Yeah, you don't want those. I think we wanted to hit Jenna's comment up front, up above.
I'm going to pin this up.
Yeah, she's basically asking, if you call the pharmacy, just ask if they have the doses, and immediately if they say whatever, just say thank you and move on. Don't yell at them, whatever, I'm assuming, because I'm sure they're getting abuse all day long.
Yeah.
Be polite. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yes. So Melinda, I have bad acid reflux with semaglutide. Would compound Zepbound do the same? Probably. Your provider should be working with you on what, how much, and how often to eat and when. But in case they aren't, here's what we would tell our patients. Super small amounts. Super small amounts of food. Hold on, I got to decline. Sorry about that. Super, like way smaller than you think. A lot of us go see a nutritionist and they tell us don't eat less than X number of calories because you're going to go into starvation mode. And that's usually 16 to 1800. That's not going to make you lose anything. And it's going to make you really freaking miserable in the beginning because all that food's going to be hanging out right here. Can we ship compounds to Louisiana yet?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Repeat which one? I didn't catch it all. Oh yeah, if you get bad gastric GERD. Sulfur burps, also known as, there you go, Neil. Neil hates it. You got to cut down the food volume because in the types of food even. And I always joke but this was stomach pain, not reflux. It's the Whole Foods meatloaf. Damn near killed me. We do not work with people in California, but Maribel does. And Maribel, she's on here somewhere. Go to maribeltelehealth.com. She'll got you. So, and when we refer you to Nikki Baldwin or Maribel, we don't get kickbacks. We don't get anything. We just like them and trust them. That's all. Yeah.
FSM Miralax. We like Miralax better than Mag 07. So if you're like constipated, I got to go today. I feel like I'm gonna explode down there. Mag citrate, Mag 07, get it out, and then switch over to Miralax to kind of keep things going is what I would typically do. Not long-term Mag 07. I'm okay with long-term Miralax, but neither one of them work. Miralax doesn't work if you don't drink fluids. You got to stay hydrated.
Yes. Repeat the website. So California is Maribel, Maribel, telehealth.com. That'll get you to Maribel. Did I see your question? Connie, I did not. Hold on. Did we see Connie's question? Can you scroll?
I'm scrolling up and looking.
Because sometimes they don't come across, which is bizarro.
Here's one. I'm on 2.5 tirzepatide for 7 weeks and I gain and lose. Should I move up to 5?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't have appetite control all week and you're not losing weight, it's time to go up. That's
the definition. As long as you know side effects, that kind of thing.
Oh, here we go. Suggestions for electrolytes, please.
Is that Connie's question?
What's that?
Connie's question?
No. This is another one. That's the only Connie question I saw.
Okay, Connie, repeat your question if you can.
It was a 2.5 to 7 for 7 weeks.
Oh, that one.
Go. Yeah.
Okay.
And just Monzero's
Yeah.
a suggestion for electrolytes. We like, anybody have anything with them? You don't have any electrolytes with you? Body
I
Armor
don't-
Light, Body Armor Light, Prime, hydration, liquid IV, Gatorade Zero, kind of one that pick one that you actually like and will drink that you can tolerate. Some of them have a little bit more salt in them, like liquid IV is very salty. If that doesn't bother you, that's where I would go. Prime and what's the one you drink? I already forgot what it's called.
I do Body
Uh,
Armor Light.
Body Armor Light has low sodium, and I think you need a little bit more sodium for hydration. But if that's the one you're going to drink, go for it.
Oh, Clean Simple Eats. Yes. I did that for a little while too. That was pretty good.
Yep, Pedialyte will work too, Jug. I think that's more expensive than like some of the other ones though, because it's made for babies. So it's more expensive. I think Gatorade has Gator Light now. That's basically Pedialyte with a Gatorade label.
Wegovy cured my IBS. No joke. I had diarrhea daily. It's been regular since. I always throw Cindy under the bus. Very good friend, patient. She is on 1.25 of tirzepatide every 10 days or so. And she had weird non-specific, like they thought she was celiac. She did all the things, right? It's probably diagnosed as IBS because they don't know what else to do with it. And she doesn't need to lose any more weight. Like she had 15 pounds of stress weight after COVID and all this other crap, and then lost the 15 pounds. But when she went off of it, she realized, oh my God, my guts are a disaster again. So that's what she stays on now to control the colitis. We also have people with, and this is anecdotal, of course, not studies, but we've got people in our practice, patients in our practice that have ulcerative colitis or Crohn's who have been able to decrease their amount of, like, because it's an inflammatory disease process, they've been able to decrease their amount of Crohn's and ulcerative colitis meds, and those are not cheap. Now, I mean, we think Wegovy and Wegovy and whatever, you know what I mean. We think GLP-1s are expensive. Try to get into some of these abs, those things will kill you. Will bankrupt you. You're welcome for answering. That's what we're here for. Aim for sugar-free electrolytes. Oh yeah. Watch the, like, don't be down in 300 calories a day and Gatorades.
Yeah, don't drink regular Gatorade. Don't do that. Unless you need the calories. Like if it's like couple like day, like first week, and you're like, I have literally taken a bite of a grape, feel free to eat a little bit of sugar with that, with your Gatorade. But otherwise, yeah, when you get farther along, I would stick with the sugar-free stuff.
Minderella, hold on, I don't see the first question. I do Body Armor, yeah, me too. I have not tried Ultima. The funny thing is I almost tried it yesterday, but I didn't.
It's another one that's lower in sodium. It has a little bit more, has
Oh.
55 milligrams as opposed to like 10 milligrams for Body Armor Light. But if you won't drink it with all the extra sodium, there's no sense in buying it because you're not going to drink it. So if that works for you, I would salt my food instead. But like that's why I said choose one you like, because some people just don't like that seawater taste of liquid IV.
Yeah, so Connie, if you're scared of constipation, which is a valid concern, just start doing Miralax daily.
Yep.
Do a quarter of a capful, dial it in so you know how much you have to take daily. And you can use a medicine cup, like the kid medicine cups that we all have stored in the pantry somewhere. You can use that to measure instead of a capful because it's really not very precise. But that way you know how much you need to dial in to keep yourself regular. You don't want the runs, but you don't want to be like stopped up forever either. So yeah, Ultima and Vital Performance Recover. I would need to look at that.
Then it's me, Catherine. Do you tell your patients to count calories? Typically in the beginning, no. We pretty much have you focus on protein and hitting your protein goal, because most of the time, if you hit that protein goal while you're on a GLP-1, you don't really have room for a whole lot of other stuff. Every once in a while, we have to address like quality of food and like actually total calories, but very rarely. Most of the time, it's just hit your protein goal, take the medicine, hydrate, and the weight comes down. And then your total calories is lower, especially if you focus on protein at breakfast. There's a study that showed that if you eat 30 grams of protein for breakfast each day, you eat about 300 to 400 calories less during that day, which basically equates to like a half pound a week for free. So
we missed a question somewhere, but I didn't see the question. I can't find it.
Okay. What's that?
Min something or other, and then I'm sorry for not remembering the name because the TikTok names. How do you find your protein? No gallbladder starting with Wegovy. Minderella, there it was.
Okay.
Thank you. It's like Cinderella, but but better. Per meal would look like. Okay. You guys have to grab these questions. I have to go pee. I'll be right back.
Yeah, they're flying through here. Well, first, everybody give me and Amanda a follow if you can.
Right.
So you guys can see us in here. It's a little bit easier. And I'll try to hit these other ones. How can you carry protein to travel to Mexico? Well, when I traveled, I would buy protein powder and I would put it in a like plastic bag with like the scoop, or I would buy a small container, put it in and just put it in my suitcase. That's the easiest way to, as opposed to carrying. You're not gonna be able to carry like pre-mades. It just takes up way too much room. Let's see. Let me go back up. I think someone had asked about insurance and cover compounds. So typically they won't cover compounded medications. They are easier to get, the compounded are, because they're not a supply issue. Most of you are able to use your FSA HSA card to pay for the medications, but not for our I'm not sure for our service. But otherwise that's the only thing you can. Insurance is not going to cover the compound otherwise. We see. Nanny 2, been on 15 Monjaro for several months now, and it doesn't seem to be working as well. Suggestions. So the first thing I would do is look at what you're eating. I just discussed protein. Nanny, I'm assuming you're a female. We typically aim for about 100 grams of protein per day, as long as you don't have any kind of kidney issues. Focusing there, making sure you're getting enough sleep each night, staying hydrated, limiting stress, and then moving. Like, what kind of exercise are you doing? And it doesn't necessarily have to be the gym. At the end of the day, strength training is the best thing to kind of retain that muscle along with that protein. That's where I would go first. If that doesn't work, a lot of times we discuss adding additional medications like metformin, naltrexone on. Let's see.
And I grabbed a body armor light when I ran in.
Nice. And Diana, Mary, I don't know. No gallbladder and starting Wegovy soon. Is there any issue with that? Absolutely not. Go for it. Should not cause any problems whatsoever. Queen, I think I answered this already. How do you find your protein goal per day? Usually for women, we aim for about 100 grams of protein. For men, it's around 150 grams of protein. And it's just a kind of an estimate based on most people's lean body mass. And that typically will get you there. And most people will struggle to get to that 100 grams at first. It'll take some effort, some planning to get there. Someone had mentioned about drinking the 42s. Absolutely. If you can't eat for the day or for like the first couple weeks, start the day with that 42, get your protein in, and then try your best the rest of the day. Even in the beginning, if let's say you get to 75 or 80, that's still better than most Americans. Go for it. You'll slowly get there. It'll just take some trial and error.
Hold on, Julia, something.
Yeah.
How much metformin a day? 500. One doctor said 500, one said 1,000. And don't start on 1,000, start on 500. See if you can tolerate it. Make sure.
I would absolutely, because we've had patients that go up to 2, like the first week, the second week. Other patients have stayed at 1 for months because they don't need any more appetite control from it. So it's very individual. I like to write the 500s because then you can titrate and adjust it yourself.
Yep. Our patients get the direct link to Zoom on our public calls. So we're getting Mallory in here so she can hang out with us. Eli Lilly said sometime next year.
I believe it, because and once they get caught up next year or get their factories online, there should be like a surplus. They should be having 2 factories come online next year for these medications. I'm hoping, because they bought the one to meet demand, and then it was so big they bought another facility. So I'm excited.
Right?
I'm really excited. I can't wait for them to be pumping it out.
Like, for
Lily's
real.
asking metformin dosing. One doctor said 500, one doctor said 1,000. That's because it varies. There's not a set rule. It's what you can tolerate and what works best for you. You may, so when you're non-diabetic and you're not monitoring an objective measurement like blood sugar, there's not as easy an answer to what is the right dose. So I think Mo takes 500. You can take up to 2,000 as the max dose, but I don't think anyone that's a non-diabetic needs to take that much. I would say for non-diabetic, probably it's either 1 tablet at dinner or 2 tablets, either take one in the morning, one at night, or with the extended release, you can take them both together. It doesn't matter. So whatever works for you.
Yeah, I don't think even with a diabetic, I would never start them at 1,000 a day. I would start at 500 because if I start them at 1,000, the likelihood of side effects is a little bit higher, and they're not going to like it and they're going to quit. So we're kind of defeating the purpose of trying to get their blood sugar under control. So I'd say low and slow is where I would go. And make sure it's extended release, because the immediate release is probably gonna not make you feel so good. You won't take it.
Dr. Moore, are you diabetic? No, I am not. No, I was just fat. I was just really good at storing the extra fat. I have binge eating behaviors that have plagued me for the vast majority of my life. Most of my disease well, I'm not unique in this, right? So, but a lot of my disease originates in my brain. It's my brain pathways. It's what I've developed and solidified over the years. So now I've got hormonal issues, blah, blah, blah. So I take this week, I take 7.5 milligrams of tirzepatide with 500 milligrams of metformin ER. I'm up to 7.5, like I said, because I'm 5 pounds heavy and I'm kind of tired of it. Like I'm kind of tired of fighting it. Really trying to dial in the habits. That's about it.
And then Julie, same, non-diabetic. That's me, same. Insulin resistance, PCOS, except I still do have a uterus that's doing nothing. So.
Yeah, I don't have a jar. Just kidding. It's cremated, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it's not just like metformin is not just for like weight loss or diabetes, PCOS. They're studying it for longevity, so it has way more uses than just kind of what we're discussing.
Julie gets fireworks, or no, she gets confetti. I forget.
If you're on YouTube, if you go to watchdrmo.com, Amanda just gave you confetti. Wait, Neil's gonna do.
I'm trying. Not today. Not today. It's not working.
I'm telling you, we do hand gestures and not the kind that get us kicked off TikTok.
No, Julie says she hit her goal down now 148 from 237. Highest weight was 252.
It's awesome. Congrats, Julie.
I did fireworks.
You're doing it.
I did fireworks.
Oh, got the fireworks.
I never can make the things work. I can only do it on my laptop, and I figured out why. It's because my Mac OS is too old. Yeah, it's story of my life right there. 500 milligrams of metformin, Kyra, is what we're talking about. Metformin ER, extended release. Don't forget to take a break. I already peed. Thank you, TikTok. First you ban me, and then you yell at me.
We said a dirty word.
I'm sorry about that. I really am. I don't mean to offend anybody, but I'm fairly offensive most days.
I don't think but you didn't say it in the context that would be the offensive version.
No, I didn't.
No.
Here's my
this
thing.
is the first time I've seen your dog.
My doodle.
Oh, look at
If you're on YouTube, you can see my doodle. Hey, Monty.
He's like,
get my chicken again.
Hey, buddy.
I don't know where my dog went.
I've seen him run around.
And he's just runs in the background.
He never stops.
Never stops.
Yeah.
Thank you, Catherine, for bringing people here. Oh, there you are, buddy. Thanks. Come here. Ready? Oh, hold on. Oh, God. We're not doing super well here. Okay, there we go.
Now you're going to make me go get a chicken.
Oh, God. I keep on your lap for a minute. It's okay, buddy. I couldn't see a dog. I said, see my doodle. See, that's hilarious. You didn't get kicked off of TikTok for saying, see my doodle.
I guess I could have. Monster, what are you doing?
I'm going to say, see my chicken.
You still have the chicken in there with you?
God, we're hilarious. Okay,
so they're still inside.
Okay.
Thank you. Talk about second week on Wegovy. Is it okay to take Premier Protein and collagen peptides? I hope so, because I've been doing it every day.
Absolutely. Protein shakes, collagen, and coffee for people in the morning. People love it. Kind of gets the day started right.
Yes, and it does. 156 pound Mastiff. Yeah, no lap. We used to have an Airedale. Oh, that's a nice bike. My husband just sent me a picture of a bike. We're trying to look for bikes for my kiddo. Oh, shoot. Is he going to be watching? Oh, he doesn't watch TikTok. Okay, we'll be good. He does watch my YouTube shorts, so it says, you say a little too often, Mom. Thanks. But yes. So, and we talked about this earlier, how lately everyone's like, there's so much so many chemicals in Premier. Well, then I looked and the vast majority, thank you, Doug, for making me look at it. The vast majority are vitamins. Oh, Sprouts has collagen peptides in bulk bins too.
Nice.
Sprouts was closer. Have to get back to work. We are on weekly. Thank you very much. These are the things we forget to do. We forget to advertise our website and say when we're here. We are here typical Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Central, and we hang out for 2 full hours. Jack's mom, why do protein drinks bloat me so bad? Experiment with the kind of protein.
Protein, yeah.
Could be the actual protein itself, a little bit of lactose. It could be something else that's in there that's irritating to you. Because especially if they're pre-mades, they have all kinds of weird stuff in them.
Yep. Yeah, to make them stay like not gross. And I made Devotion a shake the other day. I just don't like thick protein shakes. That's why I like Fairlife. And then we always call them Fairlife. We always call them the 42s. I like them better. Premier and Fairlife are kind of my thing. My left and right stomach, I got a lot of muscle cramps. That is straight up dehydration electrolytes. If that's what I would think.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, that's make sure you get your electrolytes in. God,
is it like on the muscles itself, or is it like the intestines inside you're constipated, trying to push stuff through? That's a possibility as well. Either way, yeah. Hydration, electrolytes is going to help it.
I'm thinking, when you said muscle cramps, I'm thinking like abdominal wall.
Okay. Got an abs, feet, and calves. Yeah. That's
yeah.
Electrolytes, hydration.
Oh yeah. So listen to this. So I did triathlon last weekend. Well, it was a duathlon, let's be honest. It was my first duathlon ever because the swim got canceled. So we did run, bike, run. And people ask about like performance with weight loss and Kilimanjaro, blah, 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 and everyone's got something to say. And now it is harder to train my gut, very much harder to train my gut to take in calories, which is fine. And I'm working on it. And this happened with the half Ironman that I was really salt depleted. I sweat differently now. My sweat, and I don't know this, I haven't gotten it tested, but like my shorts, when I was in the half Ironman, my shorts were full of salt, which is not my deal. It's not my thing. But this last race, it's not just electrolytes. It's also overworking your training. I got calf cramps on the bike and in transition. Like I got off my bike and I was like, oh my God, here's how it ends. I needed to stretch out in transition. And that's never happened to me before. So I've never had the capability to override my training. So those of you who are afraid you won't be able to be athletic on these medications, you got to change things a little bit, and we got to figure out the salt stuff. And so if I train for anything long distance, I'm going to do maple syrup, salted maple syrup. Like not salted maple syrup gels, like salted maple syrup, because it's thin.
What kind of salt you going to use? Maybe Celtic sea salt?
I'm going to use Himalayan. Thank you very much. Actually, I'm probably going to use Morton's because it's cheap and it dissolves easily because it's got smaller grains.
Let's see. Connie, they're talking about electrolytes, how much to drink in a day. So I think if you're at 1 a day and you're still having the cramps, I would probably increase it a little bit more. If you're drinking like Body Armor Light and it's just not doing it for you, I might even add some sodium to it as well. I add I think a 1/4 teaspoon of sodium to my Body Armor Light. Makes it a little salty, but I need the extra salt. Big one.
I love magnesium. So I take magnesium glycinate for migraine. I laugh because I'm like, I don't really know. I take it for everything. No, I take it for weird nerve pain and migraine prevention. And it doesn't make me poop my brains out because it's glycinate. So it doesn't do which is kind of a shame, right? Because I'm prone to constipation. So, but mag citrate is like, or are those the pills, right? Magnesium citrate. No, it's magnesium.
Or the bottle. It goes both.
Okay. Cause I tried the pills once thinking, oh, I'm prone to constipation. It'll be fine. Famous last words right there. It won't be fine. Don't do that. I mean, feel free to try it, but just expect that you might have crampy freaking diarrhea.
Yeah, I would use like glycinate or like oxide or something to kind of help with increase your potassium level, not oxide. It's
me, Catherine. You need to come be our patient and hang out because yes, I will shit my life away. Absolutely. It's normal to have back pains on Ozempic. A lot of time, muscle cramps. So we have 5 big rocks that we talk about when, and I had actually a nutritionist ask me because I commented big rocks over and over, and he's like, what do you mean? Here's what I mean when I say big rocks. You know the story, the professor stands up in front of his college classroom. I don't know. But when you try to fit things into a container, right, of your 24-hour day or your success or whatever, you've got to put the big rocks in first to be able to fit the other things in. So at AMS, Active Medical Solutions, which is our practice, the big rocks are good sleep, good restorative sleep in appropriate amounts, reduce stress, get movement, preferably some strength training in there, but I'll, get these things cleared with your doctor. I'm not your doctor. Even if I am your doctor, I'm not your doctor here on social media. Getting in food quality, which includes 100 grams of protein for females, 150 for males. It's more nuanced than that, but start there and then we'll revamp when you're our patient. And then hydration with electrolytes. I'm like, there's one that I'm forgetting. So the hydration is key because if you just drink water, you're not going to be getting the electrolytes you're missing from the decreased food intake on GLP-1s. Okay. I got to try Ultima. I'm going to try it. Joint pains normal. Weirdly, joint pains are usually reduced. So make sure, like, find out if it's like muscle pain or not. If it's joint pains, I would get that worked up.
Does electrolyte come in powder or on the go to add water? Yeah, like most you can go generic like HEB or whatever Publix electrolyte drinks, liquid IV, they have their own versions.
Body Armor Light has them now too, but I don't like them.
Yeah, Prime has their packets. I like more sodium than that though. And I know Gatorade does. I think Gatorade has like regular G2 and even like 0 packets. So, or I think I bought a big thing on Amazon. It was like 125 servings since I just mixed mine up here. So
nice.
That was the cheapest way. I think it was like $22 for 125 servings. So that's dirt cheap compared to the packets.
And then
I'm lazy though, which means I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
FSM was asking best news starter. Go somewhere where you can sample them all in those little individual packs, or even like a bottle each of the pre-mixed or something. Yes. Find something you like. My husband cannot do anything with coconut water, even the powdered coconut water. Like he cannot tolerate it. If he gets constipated, I know how to treat him. But all
right, buddy.
And no, he doesn't watch TikTok, so we're safe. But get what works for you, because that list of water, decaf tea, and caffeine-free diet soda, you're in trouble as far as staying hydrated, because all that's going to either diurese you or run right through. You need something to hang on once you get on these meds.
So Keto Kimmy said, not losing that much, but my appetite is gone.
I'm guessing that where calories are still either a little high or our guts really slowed down and you're losing it. It's just sitting in your gut. And you just got to poop it out.
Well, I mean, that's not a lot of information. How long have you been on it? What do you really call not losing that much? If we're talking a pound a week, that's.
I guess you're right. Because some people look at TikTok and they didn't lose 38 pounds this month. So they
right.
think
So not losing that much, I would be curious for more objective information. But I would say if you're losing at all, yay.
Yeah. Say the course. And then when you get to your appropriate dose too, that, half a pound a week might get to 2 pounds a week. Or what did my, oh, hell, Keto.
A pound a week?
1.5 pounds a week.
That's fantastic.
That's not low. That's worrying about the TikTok people, right?
Because anything more than that, you get weird hair loss. I mean, you might get hair loss anyway, but I mean, that's a perfect amount.
Yeah, I lost a lot. I lost a lot fast. Like the first month, I seriously lost 15 pounds. A lot of it was water. A lot of it was inflammation. Half of it was hair. But I was also in a very stressful situation at work. So I lost hair, got shingles. Like, it was just whatever. It was a lot.
So it looks like FSM's asking starting weight's 275 at 5'8", protein amount. I'd still, as a female, I'm guessing about flowers, maybe I'm wrong, I'd still go 100 grams. If you're a male, about 150 grams per day is a good starting place. That will probably be a little tough to get to at first.
Okay, maybe.
Kimmy, our basic calculation is a gram per pound of lean body mass, right?
Well, you can do regular body mass. I mean, if you want to be an overachiever, you can do real lean or full body mass. Like that's my goal now, is to get up to my body mass in grams of protein a day, because I would like to get my body mass down about 5 pounds. So, oh, I overate for lunch. No, I don't feel good. Um, it's Tuesday, by the way.
Oh,
Shot day is Monday. This is Tuesday. You know that green emoji face? So here's the thing. When people talk about side effects, this is a side effect, right? I brought it on myself. I could have avoided it, but I got too hungry, right? If I have questions about joining y'all, can I send you a message? Yeah, no, here. So we didn't talk about this. We do this all the time. We get on here and start shooting the shit and we just hang out. If you go to amstelehealth.com and you click be a patient, you get put in the pipeline to talk to us directly. So don't do it on social media, right? It's not, don't do it there. Do it on the real pipeline. You don't pay us until we decide it's a good fit. Because if you guys are like, if you're like, you know what, I don't like the way you work, I want video visits weekly or whatever, or monthly or whatever, because I think Join Mochi does them monthly. But if you want something like that, that's not what we do, but we do unlimited communication and we do this weekly, you know, because this way we can reach 1,000 people at one time. You know, even our happy hours, we reach 50 of our patients at the same time. They can ask questions, and the lifestyle questions, you know, we talk about poop. So, I have to go drive the bus.
Awesome. Yeah, I threw our website in there, AMS Telehealth. Give me a follow too, then you can hear me. And then if Amanda types in the comments too, give her a follow. Then you can see us too.
And thank you, Catherine, for sharing all the people. Diabetic, Manjaro 15, lost 83, 40 to go, 2 months stall. Am I done? Absolutely not. Stay the course. This is not, if you were our patient, we'd probably add some metformin on, but then again, remember going back to the big rocks, we would go back to the big rocks. The big rocks of the habits, right? We're not saying eat less, move more, right? Yes, it's a thing. And it is, you do have to work on habits, but don't be done. Keep going, stay the course. We've got people on 15 for months. They do this, and then they go again, and then they go again. You know, it's just being diabetic really mucks up your body. We got to reverse a lot of that stuff. So I am so glad you guys are enjoying this. How do we follow your other 2 speakers? Throw your names in there again. They're going to put their names in there. And you can see our faces at amstelehealth.com and then go to click on team. Team. You see all of our faces and you see all of our support staff. We brought on Sheena this week, and Sheena and Byron. God, big week. Adding metformin really helps.
yes.
Yeah, Amanda says yes. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, I mean, I think it's worth a try. I mean, it's had very dramatic results on some and mediocre results on others, but what is
Catherine said they make, and they're going to be on YouTube later when this comes down the pike. Catherine said they may kick me off their page if I'm blowing their shit up. I'm like, no,
Blow it up.
Blow it up. Blow it up. Oh, I probably shouldn't say that on TikTok, right? Because they're going to count that as like some sort of.
Yeah, never mind.
I should probably do something interesting on my TikTok. I'm going to post something.
Yeah, 0.25 Ozempic and 500. Jack's mom, hold on. You asked something earlier and I can't remember what it was. What did we address?
Why do the protein shakes bloat, Jack's mom?
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
different.
Yeah,
protein.
and yeah, that's right. Because I was going to address, but we kind of kept going. I would, if they're all bloating you, I would try different ones like we recommended. And typically, if it's like a lactose thing, whey protein isolate should not cause that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Jack's mom hasn't lost a pound. Yeah, you're on the lowest dose. I would not be concerned about not losing any weight yet. It's probably, depending on what week you're on, probably time to go up. The 0.25 is all it is an escalation dose, so you can get used to the medication. It's not until technically 1.7 and 2.4 is considered a weight loss dose. Just some people lose weight at the lower doses.
Lessie, 4 weeks at 5 milligrams, tirzepatide, up and down, same, half a pound, time to go up. As long as you don't have side effects, I would go up. Now is the time.
And if your appetite's controlled all 7 days, you're not eating anything, we look at other stuff first.
Yeah.
Before I'd go up. I always try to do the non-pharmacological.
Yeah. We're not total drug pushers, right?
And Susie's Journey, I feel like metformin kind of evens out the constipation issues. Take it with Ozempic. I think it does a lot of things well together. It helps the GI stabilize in both directions. People that can't tolerate the metformin all by itself, we give it to them with a GLP-1 and it's
Oh,
so yeah,
3 to 7.
they love each
Oh,
other.
that's an easy one.
Yeah, right. I gotta address, I pinned this one, but
Yeah.
let me address the nausea concerns, right? So right now I feel like I want to throw up everyone's food, right? I won't. Vomiting is never an acceptable side effect, okay? I just have that nausea, horrible feeling. How could I have not had the nausea feeling? Not eaten so much because I let myself get way too hungry. What I ate for lunch should have been split in 2 meals, hands down. And period.
Yeah.
I mean, that's me personally, right? So you got to watch what you eat, how much, how often. It's dumb, right? You think I'd know better by now, but I don't, because I was running around doing stuff this morning. I said I was doing nothing, but I wasn't. I was doing stuff. I just wasn't doing the things that are on my list.
Well, it's relearning how to eat. And even though you and I have both been doing this for a long time, you still fall back on old habits. You still eat what you think is an appropriate amount based on the 40 prior years, not what we know we should eat now, and based on like an American serving, which is awful. I mean, I just ate a sandwich that probably was too big, but luckily I'm weaning on my meds, so I'm not paying for it. But I mean, I should have made half a sandwich and I would have been just fine. I would have been satisfied. So, we still all are learning, and yeah, I would say eat half of what you think you should. But don't.
Very beginning, I would go a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no cap is saying get super nauseous the first 24 hours after a shot. So
Yeah.
I would really try to avoid big meals around the shot first. If you are on brand name, there's not much else you can do. If you're on compounded, we have patients come sometimes split their shot into two when to help deal with the side effects. Just kind of split it up, take it day one and like 3 days later, and they're usually good to go.
Oh, this is the best comment ever. Queen said, I'm just trying to make informed decision. There's so much noise out there. Hell yes. That's why we're here, right? So I'm Dr. Mo. If I should probably really reintroduce myself every 15 minutes because it's TikTok live, right? So, and you can see it in the name up there. But I am an MD and I'm classically trained in emergency medicine. Nutritionist, nutrition's been a passion of mine forever. And Neil's on here, nutritionist as well. Amanda is women's health NP. Neil and Amanda are my nurse practitioners in Active Medical Solutions. We've got 2 other ones too, Courtney and Brandon. And we have Dr. Galdamez, who is also, she's an obesity medicine board certified emergency physician as well. So we're like real people doing virtual medicine. So although we only have telehealth, we try to give you as much as we can. We are not your medical, we're not your providers, right? Unless we are. And then we're not talking in these channels. We're actually talking the way we do to our patients, but we still can give lots of good general information from a very well-educated brain. Sometimes, well, a lot of times it's a snow globe up there, but that's why Neil calms me down. Neil keeps me on the straight and narrow most times, unless I get snagged by TikTok for saying stupid things. But it is hard it's hard to figure out who to listen to, right? So even stuff that we say, don't follow it blindly or go back to your doctor and say, well, Dr. Mo said this. Well, sometimes maybe do that, but
it's more things that we find that work really well with our patients.
Right. We just want to do we want everyone in there to be, oh, thanks for the rose. So, I mean, we want everyone out there to have the best success they can, whether they're our patients or not, right? What's our YouTube channel called? WatchDrMo.com.
What did it used to be called?
Watch AMS.
Watch Hams.
That'll get you there too.
Lily's asking thoughts on AOD and MIC injections. So AOD injections, I don't know of any, none of our pharmacies are providing those anymore. They were made class 2 by the FDA. They're watching it for safety risk. MIC injections, if you like them, they make you feel good, absolutely go for it. Love them. Some people really like them. Other people like, I didn't feel anything. So I think it's worth a shot, especially if you want some more energy.
All right, 5 more minutes. Let's see. Post-surgery, back on Mounjaro, 10 milligrams and not losing weight. Is this typical? Post-surgical, you got to give that shit some time because your guts have to get back in shape. Your body's healing. Don't worry about losing weight post-operatively. Let your body heal. Make sure it gets from whatever surgery it is. Your body's got to heal its tissues. So don't stress about that right now. I would honestly not worry about it for 3 months, bare minimum. That's me.
Roseanne started Wegovy 0.5 and Hungary then when she was on 0.25, it looks like. Why? I
Weird
don't
shit,
know. It's weird.
right?
Happens the same with Mounjaro. People would go from 7.5 to 10 and then want to go back to 7.5. It's super weird. I can't answer that one.
Yeah. It's very individual. And you can have a 400-pound guy who you can't get above 2.5 of Mounjaro and a 140-pound diabetic female that you can't get an ounce of weight loss until she's been at 15 for 3 months. So we're on TikTok every Tuesday at 1 p.m. It's run by these guys if I'm not here.
Gabby's asking about the CVS 3-month stuff. That's a question for CVS. Unfortunately, we don't know.
Yeah, I know. Like when I talked to CVS Caremark, the mail order service, they were no longer going to be providing GLP-1 medications as after the 15th of May. Everything would have to be to a local pharmacy, and it's because they just can't get it. So I don't know if they'll do 3 months at the pharmacy. It might be up to the pharmacy, each individual themselves, because of shortages. They might just say, nope, 30 days at a time. Or depends on your insurance as well. I don't know. It'll really suck if their insurance requires a 90-day and the pharmacy can't supply it, so they just don't get anything. Can't wait till 2025.
Right. 2.47 glutide for 4 months. I've only lost 12 pounds.
Well,
That's I'll be honest, well, yes, we would look at, our 5 rocks for sure. But I mean, at 2.5, you should really kind of be, well, it depends. Did you lose the 12 pounds throughout, or did you just get to your dose, which is 2.4, and now you're really starting to lose? Like, did your loss curve go up? Because at first my instinct was switch her to tirzepatide, but you guys know I'm team tirzepatide all the way.
No,
But I
it
mean,
also depends. Like this, good.
12 pounds is 12 pounds.
That's it. Well, and same thing. Are you on compounded or are you on like regular medication? With that, that's the other thing. Because, would you switch then? Like, what does your insurance pay for semaglutide and doesn't pay for anything else? Then you're kind of stuck unless you want to pay out of pocket. That's where we kind of talk about adding something potentially. But if you lost 12 pounds in 4 months, I'm still cool with that.
Yeah.
Just takes more time. Some people, I've only seen one non-responder, and that was like 0 pounds at max dose. And you've lost weight, so it's still somewhat effective.
Lily, any word on it's retatrutide coming out? I don't know. Still in trials.
Next year, I think is what they hope for. I think. But we'll see.
I know, I hope. All right, 3 minutes. I'm saying this to keep myself on track, not you guys.
All right, so
hard to be patient.
Good.
So somebody told Jess to be patient. It's hard to be patient, especially when you see, like Neil says, the people on TikTok who lose 38 pounds in a month.
Yeah, no, I mean,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
So authentically, Jen said it's sad that insurance doesn't support the change. I don't believe insurance does it to keep us sick. I don't think they have that. I think they have to look at overall cost. If the medication price went down, they could cover it. They can't. They don't have, well, they can't, right? Their pockets are lined. I know, I get this. I think the healthcare system has to kind of topple before it happens. Or the government has to step in and say, stop charging so much for your medication, make it available.
Or just figure out why that Germany pays like $59 for Mounjaro and we pay $989.
Right.
Or why Canada pays $155.
Yeah, could you imagine if it's $155? We can't apply it, it's $1,000.
Correct.
So it kind of doesn't matter. Small kidney stones, can I take compound?
I would. I have kidney stones, and I still did compound. Just the big
I
thing,
don't
stay
see
hydrated.
direct correlation.
Yeah, not related. Just stay hydrated. Yeah, Neil. And that, like you said, so the kidney injuries we see is usually acute kidney injury. Now, if you have kidney transplant or chronic kidney disease, you have to talk. It does make it better. GLP-1s will make it better in the chronic, but you have to talk to your doctors about this. This isn't something that some, random person on TikTok should be telling you. They should be telling you to go to your doctor. But now we do have a couple of kidney transplant patients that we make them get it. You get clearance from your doctor to take the medication. Then we discuss this, that you discussed it with your doctor. We document it, blah, 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 all the things, right? So yeah, pharmacy costs are astronomical. And again, it's a supply and demand. It's what the market will bear. We live in a capitalistic society. So yeah, I get it. That's why somebody actually told me, I don't know if Maribel's still on here. But she's like, you're really cheap, especially for like doing prior authorizations. I was like, well, we charge what we can to cover. We run really lean, which is my dumbass mistake. Sorry. I didn't know quite how lean we ran until we got our first tax bill. So again, what the market will bear versus what people will do. I try to kind of straddle in between there. So add a pinch of my salt. So here, okay, I add a pinch of salt to my water. Is that what I should be doing to keep hydrated? That's a hell of a first start. I need potassium, or else I get weird muscle aches and skin pain. There's 2 questions on here. Let me do okay, so let me pin the stall one because I want you guys to address the stall.
Yeah.
But I just increased my Manjaro from 5 milligrams to 7.5, and I've been getting stomach cramps. Is it normal? I think you become, as your dose increases, my experience is that you become more sensitive to the medication. You have more effect from the medication. So the foods you eat will have more of an effect. So if you're eating rich foods, complex foods, red meat, whatever it is that triggers you, it's going to be worse on 7.5 than 5. Or if you eat too much for lunch, right? I take 7.5 now and I'm like, oh God, don't feel good. I don't have stomach pain, but, and if the stomach pain doesn't go away, you've got to go to the ER, right? You gotta get it looked up. Got to figure it out. So, all right, now you guys address the stall.
So it's where'd it go? 5.5 months, lost 77 pounds. I've done everything to try and break the stall.
Oh no, there's another one. Any tips on stall? I've been a stall for 3 months. Okay, so go ahead.
There's 2 together. So it kind of depends on where your dose is. If you're maxed out, we have to start looking at other things, whether it's going to be adding another medication onto that. Is an option, obvious option. The other option is to look at what we call our big rocks. What are you eating? Are you hitting your protein goals? Are you hydrating? Are you getting sleep, managing stress? Are you moving? Like, what are you doing for exercise? And then overall, what is the quality of your food? Is everything processed that you are eating, or are you eating whole foods? The whole foods, one, what's in them. It's only the food you're eating, and it makes you feel fuller longer. It takes longer for the body to digest as opposed to a processed food. So that's where I would start first.
Yeah, agreed. Body armors once a day or more if you feel that you're still getting cramps or whatever.
Yeah, if you're still getting cramps, I'd keep going at them until the cramps calm down and then back off.
All right, we got to end this one. A good electrolyte to put in water is the one that tastes good.
Yep.
Sugar-free, go for sugar-free electrolytes unless you really are eating like 500 calories a day and you need some extra, right? And there's no real low amount, but that's yeah. Hold on, let me hit, that's my alarm to go. So we are going to say toodles for today. We'll see our patients tomorrow night for happy hour. We're going to go. We'll see you next Tuesday. That doesn't get me flagged on TikTok. We will be here next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. All right, guys. Thanks for coming.
Bye, y'all.
All right. Let's end on the YouTube. We'll see you guys on the YouTube next time.